Namaste. In the Ramayana, Lord Rama went to the forest to keep up his father's promise. The people wanted Rama to stay back. Isn't it right for Rama to stay back and be a good king, then fall into KK's trap? Why did Rama go?
From your angle, I see that you are a great Rama Bhakta and you didn't want Rama to go to the forest. Definitely, all of us didn't want him to go to the forest at all. But he knew that Bharata would also be a very good king. Of course, he respected the views of his people, and that is why he says, I will come back after 14 years and rule the citizens of Ayodhya. He was not after power, but he had to go to the forest because in those years, truth was considered very, very important. At this point of time when we say all these stories, we can't even understand this because we just keep lying. Every sentence we keep, it's our own imagination and creativity. But in those days, even exaggerated versions were considered as untruth. So Ramayana happened during the Treta Yuga, and that Yuga was totally based on truth. You must understand the society and the values that the society really respected during that particular point of time. In fact, it was not a contract in writing at all. It was a verbal agreement, and something that Dasarata had offered to Kaikeyi years back. Those two boons were asked by Kaikeyi, and nobody knew that. So Rama could have as full said, no, there was no such thing as two boons, or no such thing as Dasarata's promise, and he could have coronated himself, but he didn't want to do it. Because as a king, if he starts doing that, that guilt consciousness of having not able to keep his father as a Satyasandha, as a truthful emperor, that guilt would have killed him. And after having surpassed, or after having destroyed these boons into ashes, how could he be a good king at all? All the other people, somehow the matter would leak out, and all the other subjects in Ayodhya will start doing the same, and they will say, I have arrested my father because he is against me growing up in my career, or he is not doing this for me, or he is not doing that for me. That was an age when sons respected their fathers, children respected their parents. So you have to look at the beautiful society, the beautiful Indian society in which he says these words to the people of Ayodhya who were assembled at the banks of Tamasa River. He says, accept Bharata as your king. I will come back, don't worry, I will come back after 14 years. And he had to go because he had to keep Dasarata, his father, his most loving father, as a Satyasandha. Otherwise, he knew that Dasarata would also sink for having not been able to keep up his promise. So people kept their promise, even verbal promises, in those times. So that's the reason why he went to the forest.